Hey guys. Okay, this next experience this is going to be a long one. I want to get it done. So, I'm living on 2121 Wall Street. And I'm having experiences. I had all these experiences you're seeing in this playlist in Vancouver. This experience I was sitting around thinking about the ETs. And I was thinking about where's my home? Like, okay, biologically, why are the ETs even fucking visiting me? And I've been through this 100 times, but you go through it again, right? Why are the ETs even visiting me? And I go, maybe my spirit is from them, right? My spirit, my inner light, my spirit, my inner light spirit. Maybe I came from them, and that's why they're visiting me. And that's the only thing I ask, what the hell's going on? Why? And that's the answer I get. The download. But that's just a download. That's the answer I get. Over and over for fucking years. And so I'm laying there, and I'm thinking about it. And all of a sudden I have this dream. I fall asleep. I fall asleep. At 2121 Wall Street, when all these ET things are happening to me, and I'm proving it to my buddy and everything. This day, I fall asleep. And what I'm going to tell you now is, since I was a little kid living in Chatham, like 7 years old, and the ET started hitting me, I had this dream, which was dealing with my fear of the ETs and the whole connection and breaking of the ego. And this is a dream I've had since I was 7 years old. I'm now, it's 2000, so I'm like 30 something, 25, 30 years old, if not more, I don't know, 25, 30, somewhere in there. I ain't doing the math right now. Anyway, so I had this dream all my life, and I'd always wake up from it, somewhere from the time I pick up the ball in the creek to where I never got to the ending until this night. So I had this dream, and I'm going to take you through the dream, the whole damn thing, real fast. And I always woke up in this dream, never getting to the end of the dream until today. Years and years and years and years, 20, 30 years later. And this is the dream. So I had this dream for like 25, 30 years, okay? This fear dream with the ETs. And this dream, what I'm going to tell you, is it saved my ass. It gave me everything I wanted to know. Everything I wanted to know. And this is a dream, and pay attention because it's awesome. It blew my mind. I can't even believe it. It was like prophecy or some shit. I don't know. But it's everything I wanted to know. And so I'm laying there. I fall asleep. I'm back in Chatham, where I grew up. And I'm in the empty lot across the street. And I'm playing at Indian Creek. And my hockey ball goes into the creek. So I reach down in. So I run to the creek. I reach down in the bushes to grab the hockey ball. All of a sudden I look up and there's an eye, a big giant eye coming at me. Now, it's not Illuminati eye, it means more than that, okay? It's like the all-seeing eye, but it's the all-seeing eye of another culture. It's not the Illuminati. They don't control the earth, okay? Just get that out of your head. That's not what it means. It's not the Illuminati, okay? The big giant eye is coming out of the sky, which is basically them staring at me, okay, my spirit. I feel them, I get scared, I feel like I'm being hunted, okay? That's the feeling I get because of my ego. I don't know what the fuck that is, I'm running. I'm a rabbit now, and it's a hunter. Because of the ego. If I would have opened my heart, it would have been a fucking angel sitting there. It's all about perception. But where I'm at when I'm a kid, fear, run, get your hockey ball, you're playing, and all of a sudden, the eye's coming. So I start running, okay? Now, as I pull before I do that, I pull the hockey ball out to take it with me, and it's like an hard orange ball. I pull the hockey ball, and I get stung by a thorn, a rose bush. Okay, I get stung on my hand. I'm like, fuck. And the eye's coming. Now, what's the thorn mean? Okay, in Native American culture, which I was in 3 past lives, the sting means love. So the eye's coming at me. I'm afraid, but I get stung. Love. Do you understand? Okay. Now, I start running. I'm running. And I'm panicking. I can barely run. I can barely talk. I'm in that panic state, you know. And I'm running through the empty lot. And I got a ways to go, you know, 30 yards or 40 yards, 60 yards, till I get to the street, then my house, where I live. And it's an empty lot. And the empty lot was a dumping ground for dump trucks. They just dumped rubble and dirt and rock and gravel and shit. And that's what we played in, throwing rocks at each other's heads when we were kids. So anyway, I'm running through this. I'm like, I'm looking back, and it's there. And all of a sudden, I feel boom, boom, boom behind me, giant footsteps. And I look behind me, and there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a T-Rex, coming after me. And it's like huge, okay? Huge, 2 stories high. It's like Godzilla coming. And I'm like, but it's a proper dinosaur. It looks like a proper T-Rex, like you see on TV. And so it's running after me. And and the eye is above the T-Rex. The T-Rex is, and I look back at the T-Rex, and he's coming around with his tail sticking up in the air, and his neck is going, chopping at me, right? But it's a lot worse. Slobber, and it's running, and it's like, oh, fuck. I fucking nearly, and I never got past that. As soon as I saw that, every time I woke up, my heart was pounding, I'm sweating. Then the ETs were there in my face in the past. But carry on, we're running. I'm running from the T-Rex. It's chopping at me, and I'm like, no, man, I'm gonna make it. Oh, I'm gonna get home. And so I'm running. The eye's chasing me. The T-Rex is chasing me, and all of a sudden I run, and all of a sudden the ground turns to rock. The ground is left, it was on dirt, like hard dirt, but now it's rock. And I see T-Rex footprints. T-Rex footprints in the dirt, in the rock, fossilized. And I'm like, fuck, follow them. So I'm following the footprints going across the rock of the T-Rex. But I'm thinking in my head, this means something, but I can't understand it because I'm going to die. So fuck it, I got to run. The T-Rex is chasing me, but its fossilized footprints are here, and I'm in the middle, and I'm following the footprints. Get it? You will. Anyway, I'm following the footprints, and all of a sudden, the footprints lead to Sanskrit in the rock, and it's like hieroglyphics. It's sort of like a cross between something and pyramids. I don't know. It's hieroglyphics. I call them hieroglyphics. Don't ask me what. And there's fucking, as far as I can see, to the left, to the right, and I'm standing on it, and it's just pages after pages after pages. And it's not like pages. It's like squared off writing, hundreds of squared off writing, like pages in a book, but it's written on the rock. And I'm like, this is me. This is mine. This is mine. Written in stone, man. This is me. And I don't know what that means, because T-Rex is still coming. So I start running, and I'm going, I wish I could read the scratches on the rock, but I can't, because it's like, I don't know what it means. I can't read it. So I'm not here anyway, but I feel everything. Every one of these pages mean, I can feel it. But bring that to your head while eye in the sky is chasing you in a T-Rex and try to understand fuck it. I'm running. So I start running. I'm running across them. And I'm looking at all the pages, and I'm running. He's coming. They're coming after me. And I run. And then I run into blackness. I'm running on black. And I run into the black, and the ground is now black. And I stop, and I'm looking, and it's a star chart. It's a star chart, like in your astronomy book. And it has all the stars. Well, as far as I can see, it's all stars. Not as far as I can see, but, in front of me, around me. And I'm looking at the star chart, and I'm like, holy fuck. And there were all these lines coming and going and things, and it had, what the hell was it? Orion. but it didn't have Orion. I couldn't see Orion on there. I didn't see Orion, the constellation Orion. But I saw, when I looked, there was all these lines going to this one, there's 3 stars. And there's a bunch of lines, and there was numbers around the stars all over the place. But these 3 main ones were brought to my attention. And I'm looking at these 3 main ones, and I'm like, that means something, that means something. I go, 3 stars, remember the 3 stars. And I told myself to remember 3 stars, 3 stars. And I'm like, I gotta go, the fucking T-Rex is coming. And I'm looking at the star chart, and I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool. This is everything I want to know right here. Same as, and T-Rex is coming. So I gotta run, and I go, 3 stars, remember the 3 stars. So I run out, leave the star chart. I get up to the street, and I look both ways for traffic, you know. I run across the street. I'm running up my driveway. I run up my driveway to the back door. I turn around. I run up the stairs, and there's 2 doors on my house. And so I grab the tin door. It's like a tin door with a screen. You know, I grab that and I open it up. And I reach down and I grab the big steel door. And as I grab the big steel door, I notice there's 3 stars on the door. Okay, there's a big one and 2 little ones. So there's a big one here and 2 little ones here. But the big one is the prominent one. And as I grab the door, T-Rex is still coming. The eye is still coming. And I'm going to jump in the house. And I noticed that I told myself, oh, 3 stars again. Remember it. Remember this. Remember this. And I basically took a picture right on my house. So I go open the door and I jump in, and then I wake up. And the first thing I did was grab a pencil and wrote everything down. Now, 3 stars is my home. What was I thinking before I went to bed? And I knew I had this dream like 100,000 times. Not 100,000, but a lot throughout my life. And I never got to the end. The 3 stars on the door. Never got there. This is the thing. This is the thing. This is the big boom I wanted, okay? Where was my soul from? That's what I was asking. Is my soul one of them ETs that contact me all the time? And is that why they're contacting me? Where's my soul from? Is what I feel true? Are these downloads true? Basically, as soon as I asked that question, I had the dream, and it finally finished with 3 stars on the door of my home. 3 stars is my home. Okay? Do you get it? How fucking cool is that? Now, I wrote all that down, and then I'm thinking, oh, what are the 3 stars, right? I didn't think Orion's belt. So, I want to talk about the dream. Let's go through the dream. Still got a cold. Just cold. Well, I'm over it, but all the stuff's coming up. Anyway. So, I'm reaching in for a hockey ball. Hockey ball is playtime for me when I'm a kid. And I'm just playing. And I reach in. The eye in the sky is coming. Not the Illuminati eye, but it's the illuminated eye. They're illuminated. Okay? I'm not. I'm afraid of it. I reach in, grab the hockey ball, pull out the hockey ball, get stung by a thorn. Okay? I get stung by a thorn in Native American culture, maybe other cultures. Being stung by a thorn means someone loves you. Or if you get stung by a bumblebee, do you ever dream there's a bumblebee flying around? And you get stung by it? And you're like, fuck! You're like, fuck, and you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is that? Well, that means someone loves you. Okay? In Native American culture. Okay? So, and I got that straight from a Mohawk mama. She knows everything. So anyway, that's what she told me. And it worked. So every time you get stung by a bee or a thorn or a rose thorn means someone loves you. Okay? Someone loves you. You maybe don't know who it is, but in the spirit world, they're OBEing coming to see you. You see them as a bumblebee, and they sting you. For a guy, anyway. Anyway, So, I get stung by the thorn means the eye loves me. But here, I'm afraid of it. Okay? It's illuminated, the eye in the sky. They're staring at me. I'm freaking out. I get afraid. I can feel it. The sound of the crickets are in my head ringing. And I start running. I'm running and running and running. Feel like I'm being hunted by the eye in the sky. Then, I turn around, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. I look back behind me, and there's a T-Rex. Now, what's the T-Rex represent? It's chasing me. So the T-Rex is chasing me. Okay, T-Rex, 60 million years ago, or some stupid shit like that. 60 million years ago, T-Rex lived on the Earth. They're all extinct and dead, but it's representing the ancient past. Okay? So the T-Rex is chasing me. My ancient past, the eye in the sky, is chasing Richard today in this incarnation. I don't know what the fuck is going on. All my life, most of it, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. All through high school, all through public school, failed everything, misfit, freaked out, all because of this shit. All because of this shit. Total goddamn basket case through high school and public school, more or less. All because of these. Because they come every fucking night. I'd have this fucking dream, and my whole fucking day would be ruined for days trying to figure out what the fuck happened to me. Okay? So all you teachers out there, to the end of fucking time. Got that? So next, oh, fuck. You don't believe the shit I had to go. Oh, you don't believe the shit I had to go through in high school. Then they send you off to the government social worker, the psychologist government, and she wants to know why you're fucking nuts and you can't do anything. What are you supposed to say to that? That's a whole different story. But anyway, so the T-Rex is chasing me. My ancient past is chasing me. If you ever have a dream with a dinosaur, it's your ancient past. Put it together in the dream and you'll figure it out. It's your ancient past. What you're going through now is you're dealing with your ancient past. So dinosaurs represent your ancient past. I'm running, and all of a sudden, boom, fossilized footprints in stone. Fossilized in stone. It's in stone. It is done. Been done. I'm following the footprints of my ancient past. Okay? It's chasing me, and I'm following it at the same fucking time. So, but I don't even know it. This is all spirit stuff. I don't even know it up here. All I want to do is survive. Okay? Of the ancient past, I'm following it. I'm learning it. The eye in the sky. My ancient past. You get it? I come up to the Sanskrit written in stone. That's my recorded, all my lifetimes. Boom, 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 boom. I forgot. I did a video on it. I got like 40 something, I think, lifetimes with the ETs. 40 something, 40, I forgot the number. I had 40 lifetimes with the ETs. I know now, but I didn't know then. So here I got 40 pages. Each page is a lifetime with the ETs. Okay? My ancient past. So my spirit is from that culture. And I had 40 fucking lifetimes with them, or more. I forgot I forgot what it was. Anyway, but I did a video on it. It's just a couple videos back. And it's everything I've done with the ETs, living with the ETs on 2 different planets, by the way. So each page carved into the granite is what happened in that lifetime. All these lifetimes I had with the ETs. I didn't know that then now, but I know it now because Christ told me. Awesome stuff, man. Awesome. Awesome. I wish. Anyway, another thing. So I run past that. I get to the star chart. I get to the star chart on the ground. It's all laid out. 3 stars. They're the most prominent thing I see. 3 stars. That's where I lived. And the only way I could know that, out of the billions of stars in the sky and galaxies and all that shit out there, is a star chart. Where to look. The 3 stars. So, done with that. And they're chasing me. They chased me, and I followed my ancient past, and I came to the Sanskrit. They're chasing me. I follow the footprints to the star charts. This is over 30 years of this damn reoccurring dream. Then I crossed the road, which could be this incarnation, to my home now, this body, which represents also the road I cross. Okay, you understand? I cross the road into this lifetime, this incarnation. I run up to my house, and on the house is 3 stars, which represents my home that's chasing me. My ancient past is chasing me. Show me the 3 stars where I'm from. It's fucking fascinating, man. To the house, to the door on my house. I woke up and I'm freaking. I opened the door, boom. Opened the door to my house, which is the 3 stars. I opened up the past. I was following and being chased by the eye in the sky, the ETs, okay? This is how your soul communicates to you in dreams when you're a fucking doorknob up here. Because I am. Because you don't know nothing about the spirit world, and I didn't, but I'm living it all the time. I just had experiences. Fucking tons. Fucking everything from moths to giant alien ships. Fucking following me home from school. Everything. I had hundreds of thousands of experience. I didn't know what the fuck. I didn't know. All I know is I had to do goddamn homework most of my life. They don't teach you this shit. No one teaches you. You just write it down, hope for someday someone will come along and fucking tell you what it all means. Okay? So, that out of the way, that was the whole dream. 3 stars is my home from the ancient past. Blew my mind. I've been waiting. I cried. Like, I cried for hours, man. Because I've been waiting my whole life for that fucking answer. I get up, I write it all down. And I go over it with a fine-tooth comb 100 times. So I want to meditate. I want to get more answers. So I lay down and I chant to myself. Where are the 3 stars? What are the 3 stars called? What are the 3 stars called? What are the 3 stars called? And I chant, and my inner voice yells back, Orion's Belt. So, I don't know what. I'm like freaking out. I heard of it before, but I thought Orion's Belt was a whole series of stars, like 50 or 100,000 or, you know, something like that. A line in the sky of stars. That's what I thought Orion's Belt meant. So I'm looking, I get the astronomy thing, the National Geographic of Astronomy or whatever the hell it's called. I think I have it laying around here somewhere. And I open it up, and I can't find it in the star charts. Like the stars, it's a black page with stars written on it, just like in my fucking dream. I'm like blown away. So I look in the index, Orion's Belt. So I look at Orion's Belt, and it said the 3 stars of Orion's Belt. And I'm like, holy shit. So I turn to Orion's Belt, find the page, look at it, and I'm like, holy shit, and there's 3 stars. So I want to know now which star was, well, the planet would have been a satellite of one of these stars. So which one was it? So I lay down and I start asking my spirit again. I put the earplugs in and I chant. Which star was the home? Which star was the home located? Which something like that. I chanted, and I chanted it, and I crossed over my innocence or my inner lake. Yelled back, Epsilon. And I'm like, what the fuck is an Epsilon? So I write it down. Epsilon. I grab the star chart and I'm looking for Epsilon. So I go to the index and I'm looking at Orion's Belt and I notice that the center star has an E. I'm like, maybe that's Epsilon. So I don't know. And the other stars had numbers, but there are squiggly weird lines like Roman or shit. I don't know. So I check it out and I go to the Epsilons and all that, all the other one, Alpha, Omega, and Epsilon. And it gives you a list of all what they mean. These little chicken scratches beside each star. And the E, it was written weird. It was like squiggly line. Anyway, I went to it and it said Epsilon, Omega, all this stuff, the whole alphabet. And it was identifying each star in the system or quadrant or some fucking thing like that. Anyway, and it said Epsilon. So Epsilon, I went back, I found what Epsilon means. So I figured, and I found out what the little E meant above the center star in Orion's belt, which represented Epsilon. I didn't know any of this shit. None of it. Dude, my fucking spirit's telling me this. So I go, okay, how far away? I go, how far away is Epsilon star from the satellite planet, right? I go, how, and I chanted that. I go, how far away was the planet from the Epsilon? And it said 1,396, something like that. I remember it was 1,390 something, or 1,093 something. And I couldn't understand it. 1,000 kilometers or 1,000 light years. You know, I don't know. It didn't give me that. So I wrote that down. And so I had to think. And I'm thinking, and you got to make your questions very simple, to the point, and specific. And so I'm thinking, oh, what the fuck can I ask? And I go, so I asked, I go, something about, I asked another question. I forgot exactly what it was. And was my home Epsilon or something like this. Anyway, I'm chanting that. And I'm expecting another word to pop into my head. And I put the earplugs in, I'm chanting again. And I'm asking this question. All of a sudden, I'm asking, was my home, where was my home located? What sector or something like that. And I'm chanting it, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm in a vision. Or how many lifetimes has there been since I left the ET culture and was born on Earth? Something like that, I asked. And I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, boom, I have a vision. And I'm standing on a planet. And the house looks like a Fermi smokestack, but small, and it's brown, it's beige, and it seems to be made out of some kind of skin paper, but it was thick, but it had like a paper around, or something like that, and it had a diamond window on the door, and the door was open, and it was a big proper house, but it was shaped like a Fermi smoke, like, you know, a nuclear powered smokestack. That's what it looked like, but it was a house. And I'm standing beside an ET girl, okay? And I'm looking at her, and she's an ET. Beige skin, egg eyes, just like the fucking guy that comes upstairs in my face. But I'm not thinking this at the time. I'm standing there, I'm looking at her, I'm not afraid. She's standing there looking at me, and we're looking at the house. And in the background, all the way to the horizon, it's just our house, and all the way to the horizon is burnt landscape. And all there is sticking up in this burnt landscape is little brown twigs, like a tree. I remember there was a tree, and it was burnt black. And I'm like, we gotta go. I turn around, and there's a spacecraft sitting there, waiting for us. So we turn around, we start walking to it, okay? And we're getting on the spacecraft, and we were looking at our home for the last time. And all I felt was the sun was getting hotter and hotter, or closer and closer, and it was killing this planet. And we had to get the fuck off it, or we're dead. So I never did look up, but it was really hot. I mean, everything was burnt and dead. So I turn around, there's a spacecraft sitting there, proper spacecraft, disc. And we both start walking towards it. And we start going to the disc, and then boom, I'm on the disc, I guess. I just shift to another scene, and here I am. There's a little machine near the center on there's like 4 levels of this craft, and there's this machine, and I gotta keep this machine going because it's kind of quirky and it's very fucking important. So my whole goddamn job on this spacecraft is to keep this little gizmo going, keep it fine-tuned, and I'm always tweaking it. For some reason, I gotta keep it perfect. And this is my job. And I'm bent down. I'm doing this tweaking with these little gizmos I got, and I'm tweaking it. And I'm sitting there tweaking it, and I'm thinking to myself, I hate it here. I hate it. I've been on this. I felt like I've been on this fucking UFO for like 6 months, crammed. And there's like 10 people on this craft. There's a bunch of people on this craft, and it's claustrophobic. It stinks, and I'm sick of it. And I can't take it anymore, because I notice I'm closed up, and I'm not allowed to think. I'm not allowed to express myself. No one's allowed to express. We're just solid in ourselves, just tight as a rock. You can't express emotion, because if you express emotion, all the other people will get emotionally. It's like me fucking telling you to fuck off. You fucking get out of my goddamn face. But imagine that emotionally. You feel that. So you express emotion to that person, and they feel it, and they just, and then it's back and forth. It just unleashes. It's like a plague. That's what it's like for us to be in this ship. There's no peace of mind. There's no nothing. And they can hear your thoughts, and they can feel your emotions. That's why you're so closed up. Okay? So everything you think, you got to think it inside yourself. You can't express it, because you go nuts. And I'm working on this, and I'm not allowed to think. I'm not allowed to express myself, because we're all claustrophobic, and we're all losing our shit on this little tiny craft. Okay? And all of a sudden, I got all that. All of a sudden, boom, I'm in another scene on the craft. And I'm on one of the levels, and I'm doing something. I'm walking. And I'm looking at all the people I'm with, and they're all looking like my wife. They're all ETs. They're all gray-skinned egg eyes. All of a sudden, the captain comes down. I hook up to the captain. He goes, "Well, I need a volunteer." Like, that's what he said. He goes, "I need a volunteer." And I'm like, before he even got done saying it, my hand was up. I'm like, that's me, right? I can't take it. I'm losing my shit. I'm losing my shit. I know I am. And I can't see why they're not. These people are better at it than me. I'm losing it. They got it together. They didn't even volunteer. I'm like, I'm your fucking guy, right? And that means I'm going to die. That's what a volunteer meant. I didn't know it in the moment, but I knew it in the moment. But not the moment I'm having this vision. So, I get out of the craft. I get ready. So we land on a planet. We land on some planet, which was Earth. We landed, and I look out the window, and it's desert. Rolling tumbleweeds, cactuses, all that. Somewhere in North America. I'm assuming it looked like North America. And we landed. I'm getting ready to go. I hug my wife goodbye, give her big hugs and kisses. No one's crying. There's no emotion. Because you're not allowed emotion. You'll lose your shit. For us, anyway. But there is emotion. But you're not allowed to express it. All of a sudden, the door opens up. I walk into this little tiny room. Door closes behind me. I'm standing there. And all of a sudden, the fucking light goes off or something. Something happens, and the door opens up in front of me. And I walk out down these couple little stairs, step out onto the earth. The door closes behind me, and my skin, I'm like naked. My skin immediately goes like a cracker, just like a cracker. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, that was brutal. And all of a sudden, I know what I gotta do. I have to breathe the air as much as I can before I die. That's what I'm supposed to do in my lungs. Breathe the air. And so I went, and I just started breathing the air, bringing in as much air as I can. And I started breathing it. And the more and my lungs went, just scorched. It was like fire. Dry fire. and suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe the oxygen. I couldn't breathe. So whatever it was that we breathed inside the ship, sure as wasn't what the fuck was out here. And I'm suffocating. It feels like I'm, dying. Water. Like if you put yourself underwater and you breathe in the water, that's what it's like. You're breathing in water. And it's not good for me, whatever it is. I'm breathing it all in as much as I can because I know what I got to do. And then I turn around and I face the ship. And I'm looking at the ship, and there's a little diamond window on it. Diamond window on the door, or the side of the door. I can't remember. I think it's the door. And all of a sudden, I fall to my knees, and I can see my wife. She comes and she's looking at me through the diamond window. And all of a sudden, whoosh, all this love and compassion just hits me. And I'm like, oh, that was beautiful. And that, I took all that love and compassion and I put it in me. And I remember I just held onto that. I just held onto that. And then I fell forward, face first in the dirt. And then I got up. I'm standing there. I'm dead. There's my body. And I move back a couple feet. And then the door opens up. Two guys come out. They pick me up and they carry me back in the ship. And then the door closes. And it takes off. Fucking just, takes off. Here I am. But also, I knew, I knew there were cultures on this earth like people. And they were like the native tribes in South America and native people here. And I knew there was people in Europe, and I decided I like the native people over in North America. And that's where I stayed. But I also knew there was, I didn't know at the time, but I ended up going to live on Atlantis. Because Atlantis was there also. But we didn't want anything to do with Atlantis. I don't know really. But I knew later on, after other things like this, I knew the Atlantis was on the earth at the time I died here. And eventually, I think I went to did Atlantis first, then I did the native people. I never went and did the European people. I had a Russian lifetime, but that was much later, like one of my last ones. And anyway, screw all that. Here I am today. So, with that, that's how I found out who I am in my spirit. And that was a dream I've had for 30 years or more, 34 years. Never finished it until that day in Vancouver in 91, 92, somewhere in there. On 2121 Wall Street. That changed my whole life with the ETs. So, quite a long video. So, there you go, guys. Just thought I'd make that for you. Later.